Hey guys, welcome to our first episode of How Does This Rally? So we're on the hunt to find the ultimate rally car. We're going to start out with testing it out on my car, but once it's done, we're going to have a bracket of 8 pairs, 16 cars, and we're going to set up cars that are kind of similar, compare them in speed, handling, storage space, comfortability, all the things that you'd want to find in a really good rally car. So stay tuned for more. So on the test episode today, we're actually shooting our 2012 Audi R8. So this has been our rally car for the last 3 years. We've put about 50,000 miles on it in the last 3 years, so we definitely don't hesitate to drive it and rally it. It's definitely one of the more comfortable rally cars we've ever driven. So it's gas, okay, definitely performs well. Storage space, not great, but it definitely looks good and does the job. So we're gonna walk around the car and take a look at the different aspects. So starting with the frunk on this thing, there's no trunk, and this R8 has 3.5 cubic feet of storage space, which is not ideal. But you can fit a helmet, you can fit a duffel bag. We've actually rallied for like a week in this thing, and it's been okay. We'd probably rate this like a 3 out of 10 on the scale that we just created. So this 2012 R8 is actually very, very comfortable. It scores pretty highly on our arbitrary comfort scale. I've rallied thousands of miles in this thing. I've rallied for hours at a time. We rallied Miami and back. So it's honestly more comfortable than most other supercars. I've sat in Gallardos, Huracans, Ferraris, McLarens, all the above, and they're all pretty tight. Just for reference, I'm 6'4" when I stand up straight. So this is definitely one of the more comfortable cars. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. It's still a supercar, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10 in our scale. So this car actually scores pretty highly on the performance as well for a stock car. It actually has 525 horsepower from the factory and 390 foot-pounds of torque, so it's a naturally aspirated 5.2 liter V10. It sounds really good. You can't beat it. It sounds identical almost to a Lamborghini because little do you know, it has the same Lamborghini stamp as a Gallardo on it. So these are pretty easy to modify. I've driven boosted ones, it's a lot better, but obviously for an NA car, I would say it scores pretty highly, but it could use a little more juice. So probably about another 7 out of 10 on the performance scale, but we'll take it on the road and show you guys out there. All right, so we are taking this car out for a performance test. So part of the judging scale for How Does This Rally is we want to find out the speed and we want to find out the handling of each of the vehicles. So for this one, we know it's pretty quick, so we're just going to do a poll getting onto the highway, and we're going to test the handling by going through this roundabout and just seeing if there's any body roll, if it's planted, if we can kind of pick up the pace and go pretty quick through the roundabout. So those are going to be the 2 tests as far as how this car performs on our scale for How Does This Car Rally. All right, so now we're going to test the handling, and we're going to go around this roundabout at a pretty quick clip and see how she does. Feels pretty planted, not really much body roll at all. I mean, this car is lowered on coilovers, slightly lower than stock, but it definitely, it feels good around these turns. I feel pretty confident, not worried it's gonna spin, and I'm taking it at a decent speed, faster than, most people would be comfortable going around a roundabout. Only because it's like 20 degrees here. I am on winter tires, but regardless, at 20-something degrees, not many cars are happy campers. going to do the speed test of how this car merges getting onto the highway, because of course during rallies, you know, you're merging a lot, and that's kind of one of, you know, onto highways between cars, driving together as a group. So it's definitely an important test. So we're gonna start. This car is a 6-speed R8, so it's a manual transmission with a little unit on it that does the shifting for me, unfortunately. But so now we're gonna merge. It felt really good. Normally, I think in future episodes we're going to try and get more runway than that, because there's a bunch of traffic currently out. And that wraps up our test episode of How Does This Rally? So we had a 2012 V10 Audi R8. Great car. Overall, again, it's probably about a 7 out of 10 on our rally scale. We're going to see how that compares, but it's pretty quick. It handles pretty well. It's pretty comfortable. It's definitely not a 10. It could use some more speed, better handling, etc. It's a very good budget rally supercar. So stay tuned for the next episode when we put 2 cars head to head. Follow us for more on squad-driven.com.